will Gehlot be able to pull through, or his day's numbers?
Look, I think that's, Rahul, the last stage when the battle lines are drawn and it will be decided on the floor of the House. I think the first step is what Sharad said, Pilot's options today. He has three options, Rahul, before him. One option is clearly that he fights within the Congress. You're just hearing Dipinder Hooda, Jitin Prasad, all in a way reaching out to Sachin Pilot. Could he become a catalyst for change within the Congress? High risk option, but an option that I am the real Congress, I represent true Congress values, not necessarily those who are the real decision makers. Option number two.
Which means rebel against the Gandhis.
Which means rebel against, I won't use the word rebel, but certainly challenge them. In some form challenge them, emerge as the challenger within. Not easy, given the way the Congress functions, but it is an option that he has. Because, let's be honest, Rahul, Sachin Pilot represents, to my mind, for the younger generation within the Congress, a possible, the issues he's raising privately, issues he's raising publicly are many which are being raised privately by congressmen of the way the party is functioning today. So that is one option. Option number two, he joins hands with the BJP.
But does he have the gumption for that kind of a fight?
It's a very difficult fight. You're absolutely right, Rahul. It requires a huge amount of effort. I don't know whether he has the gumption.
But there are many who will come to his support.
How many of them will actually come publicly, we don't know. Privately, they are saying things. Will they actually publicly challenge the Gandhi family and use Sachin Pilot as a catalyst for change? We don't know. Option number two, he joins hands with the BJP to bring down Ashok Gehlot. To my mind, that still seems likely because his one-point agenda, Rahul, at the moment is to teach Ashok Gehlot a lesson. This seems to be a vendetta politics between Gehlot and Pilot. Normally, these things have some structural issues. I don't think there are any structural issues. This is about two individuals who simply cannot accept the other. And the third option is form the regional party and then challenge Ashok Gehlot. Again, a tough option, the Jagan Reddy kind of option, which is a long-term option. Is Sachin Pilot going to go for a short-term fix, or is he willing to play the long-term card? Option 1 and 3 are the long-term card. Option 2 is the short-term fix. I'm still not sure, Rahul, which way he really wants to go.
You've been speaking to several people around him. What's your sense of, because when I spoke to people around him, my sense was he's in a Fidain Kamakazi kind of mode. He wants to take Gehlot down regardless of the consequences. Dekhi jaogi.
I agree with you. I get a sense that's what he wants. He wants to take down Ashok Gehlot come what may.
But you know that there was a effort within the Congress where people made presentations where they wanted Sachin Pilot to take over as Congress president. This after Rahul Gandhi had said he didn't want to continue in the job. And at that time, many senior Congress leaders, including some chief ministers and formidable leaders, had come forward and said, okay, we will back you.
And how many of them will publicly take on the Gandhis? Look, one thing is very clear. There are two wars being fought. The immediate war is Gehlot versus Pilot. The larger war is what happens to this party. You know what happens?
Is that a war Sachin wants to fight?
Look, sometimes you don't know when, one war leads to the other. Remember, Rajesh Pilot took on Sitaram Kesri because he believed the Congress was declining under Sitaram Kesri. Will history repeat itself? There is an opportunity. The Congress is an opposition party.
How did it go for his father?
Because Sitaram Kesri, you see, how does the Congress work? Whoever is in power manages the delegates. This party has not had a proper election for 23 years, Rahul. It has been run, whether we like it or not, as a closely knit family proprietorship. That's the problem with the Congress. And now, along with that, there's an NGO mentality. Ki jana hai to jane do. That ruthless hunger to fight the last inch doesn't seem to be there. Where is it?
Sachin is not ruthlessly hungry either.
See, he's
more ambitious than most in the Congress, but ruthless hunger is not something
you are quite right. Part of the problem is Ashok Gehlot is probably more the old style ruthless operator. Sachin Pilot and many around him are the entitled elite. Rahul Srivastava was on a program with me earlier today. He made a great point. All of them are part of entitled. Today we are accusing Sachin Pilot of being entitled, that he thinks he's owed the chief ministership. Is Rahul Gandhi not entitled? He became party president within a decade of joining politics. Priyanka Gandhi became parachuted and became the general secretary of the Congress in the most populous and important state of Uttar Pradesh without fighting an election. Sonia Gandhi became the Congress president without fighting an election in an overnight coup with Sitaram Kesri. This is the history of the party. It's a party of entitlement. Now you can get away with that when you're in power because you can then distribute patronage to your loyalists and friends. Now you're a party in opposition. Then you've got to fight every inch. Today, losing Rajasthan would be a big blow for the Congress. You could have got away when you ruled 15 states, you lose one state. Today you have 4.5 states. Every state should matter. Every congressman should be out there today to ensure that Gehlot and Pilot are able to work together. It's the Dipinder Hoodas and the Jitin Prasad, Dipinder Hoodas who are making the effort. Why can't this effort be made by all the congressmen? Instead, I hear them now already damning Sachin Pilot. Those who are loyal to Rahul Gandhi. That's got to change. Because Sachin Pilot, frankly, will be a huge loss. It's not just about, it's not that he's a mass appeal leader or anything. It's a perception that the younger Gen Next are losing out. And I don't think, to be fair to Rahul Gandhi, he feels insecure about the pilots of the world. I think that would be unfair. It's just that his style of politics is such that he is unwilling to do the hard conflict management.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here. Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.